Hey everybody, Greek Geek here, back with another video. Today I'm going to share with you the latest pickup in my comic collection, the Green Lantern Rebirth Compendium. We'll flip through the pages, check out the build on this thing, and do a little compare and contrast versus the Geoff Johns Omnibus that's out there, and I'll try to convince you one way or the other. So let's check out the contents of this and then come back for my full review.
All right, guys, so let's take a look at this. You can see it is a pretty thick compendium, $59.99 retail. And you got your table of contents in here. You get a nice title page telling you every time you flip to a new issue. And of course, we start with the amazing Rebirth series that brings Hal Jordan back from being dead or parallax for all those years. Great art by Ethan Van Sciver. Look at this. This is just beautiful. Superman, Wonder Woman. Love these issues. And you go straight into, after Rebirth, we get into the regular Green Lantern series. And you can see here, I'm not opening it up. I'm not babying it, but I'm not opening it flat. Trying to be careful with it. But again, I think the build is pretty good on these DC compendiums. Nothing to be afraid of. Oh, there's Hector Hammond. But here we go. This is Green Lantern number 6. And we go into different, there's Green Lantern Recharge. Like I said, the Rann-Thanagar War. You can see this thing is loaded. I'm just trying to show you how it opens up. You can read it. There's some gutter loss, I guess. You know, we're not laying this flat. But again, the value that you get with the compendium, to me, totally worth it. There's Green Lantern Recharge number 4. So we're getting all these different characters in here. Soranik Natu, John Stewart, Kilowog, Salak, all the different core members, which I really enjoy reading these guys instead of just reading Hal Jordan all the time. There are 12 issues. I think it's the 12 issues of Ion. So we learn about Kyle Rayner. Here's Ion number 6. We get to learn about Kyle Rayner and what he's up to. So for me, that is a big plus to the compendium that is not in the Omnibus. I'm a big Kyle Rayner fan. You know, I started collecting right around when Hal Jordan went crazy and blew up Coast City, and then Kyle Rayner took over. So this is a good story. Add some context, like I said. It's not required reading to understand the Green Lantern series into Sinestro Corps War and Blackest Night. But if you're a Kyle Rayner fan, you get this full Ion run. So that is a big plus for me here. Look at that art. Awesome. We've got the great Ivan Reis. I can never say his name, Reyes or Rice. He's in here. Carlos Pacheco, I believe. The late, great Carlos Pacheco. So, yeah, you've got tons of content in here for this price. And you'll see as we continue in my video, organic price books, panel bound books now. You'll see my referral code. So that's the contents and what this thing looks like. And you can see, I think it's going to hold up.
All right, guys, so let's talk about this a little bit. I had these single issues back in the day, had sold quite a few of them off up until the Blackest Night run, still have some trade paperbacks sitting in my collection, but had never pulled the trigger on any of the Geoff Johns Omnibus, and then saw that the Green Lantern Corps Omnibus came out. I really liked the Green Lantern Corps, and I was kind of waiting for something better to come along, and here came the compendium. So here's the contents of the Omnibus Volume 1. Here's the contents for the compendium. You can see there are some similarities, some overlap, but with the compendium, they're 300 pages more, quite cheaper. If you were to buy all the Omnibus, the 3 main Green Lantern Geoff Johns Omnibus, the 2 Green Lantern Corps Omnibus, you're probably going to be spending $400 or so. The compendiums are anywhere from $35 to $50 depending on where you buy them, and you're just getting more content. Now, do you need to have all of this content? No. If you just want to read the main Green Lantern run by Geoff Johns, perfectly fine. But if you're like me and you love the mythology, the history of the Green Lantern Corps, all the different characters from John Stewart, Kilowog, Soranik Natu is great in these books. It just adds a layer. You know, for example, Did I need to get the extended run of the Lord of the Rings movies? No, but I have them. So when I watch the Lord of the Rings, I put the extended version in. It just adds a little more. So if you already have the omnibuses, Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps, it's fine. But with the compendium, it's mapped where I don't have to go back and forth. That was the problem with the omnibus. You'd read the Green Lantern, and then you'd have to go to a certain issue of Green Lantern Corps. I don't like to do that. I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to print out a checklist when I'm reading. I just want to read start to finish and just go on to the next book. And with the Green Lantern Corps, you've got, it's not written by Geoff Johns, obviously, but Peter J. Tomasi is the writer. Patrick Gleason, amazing art, as you saw some of it when I flipped through. And I wanted to have that. And I know people talk about the build quality. They want hardcovers. Yeah, I love omnibuses as well. But, you know, really, how often are we going to read these? Most of us, we've got several sitting on our shelves that are still sealed. Like me, Superman Exiles is still sealed as I wait for the Brainiac Reborn to come out, and still hoping and praying for a John Byrne Man of Steel omnibus. But I read my Walking Dead compendiums multiple times. They still look new. You know, when you read this, you want to have it sitting on a pillow and maybe go about that far. You don't have it laying flat on the table. And guys, they're books. We're not going to read these multiple times. Like I said, most of us, we still have sealed omnis, different books that we're not getting to. Our backlogs are large. So I'm all for saving the money, getting it in a better mapped reading order. And volume 2 is coming out pretty soon. And like I said, you can grab these pretty inexpensively. If you want to go through panel-bound books, I'll put my referral code here, formerly Organic Price Books. You get $2 off. And I'll always put an Amazon Associates link if you want to help my channel. But yeah, I'm going with the compendium. I'm going to continue this. Like I said, it's up to you. If you already have the omnibus, probably just stick with it. But I'm thrilled to get these for less than $50. Have the complete, you know, Green Lantern story through the Green Lantern Corps as we get into Blackest Night. The Sinestro Corps War before that are just, it's peak Green Lantern. None of that is fluff, other than maybe the Rand Thanagar War that's in here. Not necessary reading, but again, it's fun to have it if you want it. It's not required, but we've got it in the perfect reading order. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? Are you strictly just going to stick with the omnibus? Do you like these compendiums? Because I'm loving all the DC Finest. I've reviewed some of those before. I love how we're getting the complete order of these and we don't have to flip around. Let me know. You agree, disagree? And as always, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.